Welcome to the first episode of Geek-Week. We spent a lot of money on this intro.
Hi there, I'm Jack, and I'm evidently reporting from the year 1992, and this is the week in Geek. First off, casting is almost complete for the Aquaman television show pilot for the CW network. For those playing along at home, CW is the merger between UPN and WB. Anyway, as the show Smallville shows the life of a young Clark Kent Superman, this new show, tentatively titled Mercy Reef, will show the young life of Aquaman, otherwise known as Arthur Curry, or as he's known on the show, just AC. Justin Harley, 28-year-old, from the TV show Passions, will be playing the part of AC. And also attached to this project is Ving Rhames, who will be playing the part of a lonely lighthouse operator who will serve as AC's friend and mentor. Wow. Moving on. Last year, Slave Labor Graphics announced that they had obtained the rights to some Disney properties to make comic books from. Now we finally have some release months for those comics. Now, a lot of the comics are better known rides, attractions, and films from Disney, but some are a little more obscure. This, you know what? This is stupid. Let's just cut the crap. Tron! They got Tron! They're making Tron comic books, and they look freaking awesome! Those come out in April. Tron! And also, they got Haunted Mansion, which is already on its second issue, and quite good. And then in May, we get Wonderland, which is the Adventures of Wonderland after Alice left. And follow up with Gargoyles. Yes, I said Gargoyles. That totally kick-ass cartoon from, well, the 90s. And that's also going to be in comic book format in June. And Tron. Did I mention Tron? Yeah, they got Tron. This year's Slave Labor, you win. Finally, in our video game news. Rockstar Games, the creators of Grand Theft Auto and Midnight Club and Manhunt and, you know, all those other games about stealing and running people over and beating up hookers with a baseball bat, have finally released information about their Xbox 360 exclusive game. I think this actually may be the craziest, greediest game they've put out so far. And the subject matter this time? Table tennis. That's right. Or as we like to call it on the streets, ping pong. Yo. I'm dead serious. President and executive producer Sam Hauser of Rockstar Games released screenshots yesterday of their new ping pong game. They're beautiful, high-res captures of very well-rendered characters playing ping pong? But I'm sure it's really kick-ass and street. No release date has been set on this yet, probably because they're totally screwing with us. Until I have this game in my hands, I call shenanigans. I swear they're covering something else up, but they seem to be behind it. So, we'll keep you up to date on that one. It could be their next chartbuster, or they could totally be pulling our legs. Anyway, that's it for this week. As far as you know, I haven't had pants on this whole time, and that's the week in Geek.
Welcome to Cosplay Corner. I'm Sarah, and this week we'll be looking at the best costumes from Katsucon in Washington, D.C. First up is a friend of mine, Dia, doing a costume based on a character from Kyung Tae Kim's art book. Character which Dia has decided to call simply Dicey-chan. Yes, those are giant dice on the side of her head. And look at the elaborate stitching work on the back. This obviously took a lot of time, and the quality really shows. Nice work. Next up, an amazing group cosplay that's a little more old school. Final Fantasy VI, based on the original design art by Amano. As a side note, I know that guy in the dress, and I have to say, he's really pulling it off. Finally, this group tackles the series Trinity Blood. Gothy and elaborate, the Inquisition has never looked so fabulous. That's all for now. See you next week.
Okay. So remember my Uncle Wade that I told you about lives in Virginia? Basically every weekend, he and his buddies get drunk and they go out and they do Civil War reenactments. They dress up and everything. So, what if...
You shall fall, beast!
Every Saturday, we like to get together here at the park and we reenact one of the important battles of the 12-issue limited Marvel series Secret Wars.
This is about camaraderie. It's about teamwork, but most of all, it's about history. It's really about knowing your roots. I mean, kids today, they're reading about Wolverine's clone sister. What the hell is that about?
We've been doing this I think this is our 8th week. The park officials have been really cool about it, and someone bring their kids now and they take pictures. They think it's a lot of fun.
We're just glad he found a group of kids that he can dress up and play with. I mean, he made his own costume. I think it turned out pretty good.
It's a lot better than that dude's.
All right, go get him. Those guys are kind of old, honey.
He'll be all right.
Jack, I thought we agreed. No girls, no children.
The Secret Wars remolded the Marvel Universe as we know it. It's where Spider-Man got his black costume, for God's sake. Hey, pay attention back here. Kang is talking.
Okay, very simple. We're trying to save Wasp, but Doc Ock is in your way. Okay, so you need to get through Daniel. Daniel? Can you raise your hand? Okay, Daniel's Dr. Octopus. Okay, so what you want to do is break through and get to him and then just web the bejesus out of him, okay? Just really cover him up, okay?
You're looking good. Don't let Hulk get near you, okay? Whatever you do. It's bad news, buddy. Keep going. There you go. A little bit of that. All right. Good, go out there.
Yeah,
Get him.
we're already fighting Ultron. Okay, where are you? Okay, are you on Culver? Okay, what do you see? Okay, you should see a Ross. Take her right there. There you go. Okay, I can see you. See, I can see you up the street. Can you see me? Hello? Yeah, come on in. All right, we'll see you.
Mom, I'm in. No, I'm conquering. It's the Secret Wars day, remember?
Shoot on the field, you guys. Time out. Time out. We gotta shoot. Everybody. Work around it. We're okay. We're okay. You're right. Okay. Okay. Game on. Everybody.
Look, at no point in the series does the Hulk ever fight Dr. Octopus. You might as well have him fight Fing Fang Foom.
Fin Fang Foom wasn't in Secret Wars.
My point exactly.
Hang on, I gotta walk my mom through tech support. It's gonna be a minute. Which version of Windows are you running?
Cyclops, keep your eyes on him like you have been before.
You got
Hulk, bash his brains in.
Hulk
right?
bash.
I'll look pretty.
Second. I got it. Guys, stop. I think I just threw up a little bit in my helmet. Oh.
I think for me the most important thing is that we get to actually feel the emotions that those heroes would have felt being alone on that alien world, fighting against the machinations.
Jack. Hey, Jack. We've got the field at 3 o'clock for a crisis group. You got to give up the space, man.
Yeah.
Ready? You know the rules. 5 minutes on the clock. Rant and rave. You ready?
Yep, go for it.
All right. Actually, you hit me first.
You go.
Okay, Ultimates 2. This series, I don't know how it can up the stakes any more than it already has, and yet every week it does. It's freaking amazing. It had a really slow build, as most of Mark Millar's stuff does, unfortunately, in the Ultimate Universe. And you're building, and you're reading, and going, oh, are we going to go anywhere? And then the last 2 issues, it's like, God, free fall, stop, please. It's totally out of control. I love this book. I have no idea where they're going with this. It's just crazy what they're doing to these characters. So I don't know if you're picking it up weekly.
I am, yeah.
Great. There's a few things I just want to say about it that they're too big of spoilers for those who want to get it in trade. Man, get this trade, buy the book. It's amazing.
Cool. I've been reading Star Wars comics lately. I don't know why. It's just, I'm actually a bigger fan of the comics than I was the movies. So here I have Purge, which is just a one-shot. It's a Vader story. It happens right after Revenge of the Sith. The remaining Jedi know that Vader's hunting them, so they try to ambush him. And basically, he gets the jump on them. And it's just a great story. So, seeing the Jedi be proactive instead of sitting around contemplating what they're going to do or what they should do.
Floating chairs.
Yeah, so anyway, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Very cool. Okay, let's get to the rant part of this. Peter David. It's kind of ironic he writes multiple, man, because he's sort of bipolar this week. Okay, he turned in 2 books this week, and we've got X Factor, which is amazing, by the way. I didn't, all these new relaunches, you've got Chris Claremont doing his Excalibur, and I'm sorry, it's terrible. Also on issue 4, and now X Factor's on issue 4, and it's amazing. And it's the exact thing that a relaunch should be, and the characters are just incredible. And Peter David is no stranger to X Factor. He launched, well, he didn't launch it, but he did the book a long time ago, and it's kind of a funny book. This one started that way, and it's really getting dark. Let's move over to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, this was a self-contained story about, Spidey of the past and Spidey of the future, and it involves blogging, and it was terrible. I'm sorry, it was. And maybe as a self-contained story, I could have stomached it, but Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was launched to show us the new Spidey costume, in theory, and follow the other storyline. Well, we got the new costume last week, we finally got to see it in action, and then we get this. And now I don't get to see the suit, or what it's doing, and I just... This was terrible. It was bad timing, and I just want to see the damn new spider suit. Screw you, Peter David.
Wow. Yeah.
Cranky.
I guess. Okay, Batman number 649 and 650. Jason Todd's back. He's angry because the Joker beat him with a crowbar. What's he going to do? Same thing. He's going to kidnap the Joker and beat him with a crowbar and see if Batman can stop him. That's basically all this story is. It's right before they go to the end of Infinite Crisis and the whole 1 year later thing. So they're just kind of, to me, phoning this one in.
My next rant is sort of more of a personal one. Your mom is kind of developing an itchy chin beard, and it's really it's scratchy to me when we're intimate. So
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Are you my new daddy?
You're up, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, Green Lantern. Broke back Batman. That's what this is. Doesn't it look like they're about to open mouth kiss in this? I know, they're
That's
just like,
awesome.
and they're and that's the thing. They've been so mad at each other since Hal went wonkers. That I think this is good. They're going to have the angry love here.
It's time to learn to
yeah,
love.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and that's basically what happens here. Is they get together. It's
Not
basic,
really, though.
basic Brave and the Bold team up. They get together. They duke it out. Then they join forces to beat the bad guy, and they make up basically. And
but not make out.
Not make out.
Okay.
Yeah, they really don't. You get to see.
You sound disappointed.
It's like the cover. It's one of those things we talked about last week, where the cover does not sell the story inside. So anyway,
You genuinely sound disappointed. Okay, Miss Marvel. Didn't really know about this book. I mean, I've never been a giant fan of hers, but I've never disliked her either. So I thought I'd give it a try. The Frank Cho cover, of course, is
beautiful.
The interior art is not quite as good, but the story's really well written. It's quite good, but I must admit, I'm going to share a moment with you. In the first page, her big splash page intro in which she's saving small children, and then you get basically like the full vajayjay shot. I thought that was a little distracting in the book. Don't know how they got away with that. So check that out. That's about page 5 or 6. I'll let you borrow this after I'm done with my review, okay?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but other than that, book's pretty well written.
Awesome, great. Okay, the latest issues of Firestorm. I enjoy this book. I really like the new guy who's the new Firestorm. They're bringing back Professor Stein. Where they killed Firestorm in
The floating head guy?
Yeah,
Cool.
They killed Firestorm in Infinite or Identity Crisis. Then this new kid takes over, and now they've killed him again in Infinite Crisis while he's up in space. He's a novice. He doesn't know what he's doing. But Professor Stein's going to come in and help him out, and they're going to get back together. And I'm really looking forward to the future issues of this book.
I love that even you can't keep track of which crisis is which. Even
Yeah,
you mess it
even
up.
me,
You're
yeah.
like the only guy I count on to know what that is. Okay, I got to jump over to Marvel Zombies. This is, of course, my favorite book every time it comes out. I'll admit that this issue picks up the story a little bit more than the last 3, which are all done with mine.
Wow.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Bring it. Okay. Video games. I'm going to move on to a few video games. I've got a
Nice.
couple of games here that I play quite a bit and that I have played quite a bit. Marvel Nemesis. I was looking so forward to this game when I read about
Sorry,
it,
dude.
but all I can say about it right now is no. Bad game. Bad game.
That's so bad.
On the flip side, though, same company, but Burnout Revenge. Racing game. I don't like driving games, but this one is drive into things, blow them up, and make money doing it. And it's an awesome game.
You keep
I
trying to
enjoy
get me
it.
to play this with you.
It's lots of violence. It's lots of violence and crashing, and you get a ram into people road rage. It's the best game I played.
Oh, time is up. That's all for this week.
That's all. We're done.
Nice one, man. All right, let's try it out again next week.
We'll see you next time.
Up next on Geek-Week, Part 1 of Julius Mark's interview with Sideshow Toys.
I'm here with Brant Bridges, product manager at Sideshow Collectible. Thank you very much for coming out and talking to us, Brant.
Thank you, Karen.
So first of all, tell us a little bit about your job and what it is you do here for Sideshow.
I work with a great team of artists here at Sideshow to try and corral our development and our overseas team where we actually do all the production in China. We're putting out over 100 figures a year these days, life-size busts, replicas, metal miniature stuff, statues, the whole gamut. So we have an exciting day full of problem solving for unique challenges to try and create the most authentic reproductions of different characters from cinema, TV, books, comic books, kind of the whole range.
Boy, 100 products a year. That's a lot of stuff. That's almost like 2 things a week that you have to crank out. That's a tremendous volume of product.
It's a lot for folks to collect. Thankfully, we're spread across about 15 different properties. Some Star Wars, some Marvel, Lord of the Rings. We also do Buffy the Vampire Slayer, James Bond, classic monsters, a little bit of everything. And The real challenge in that number of SKUs, number of products, is that most of them are 12-inch figures or quarter-scale figures where there's a lot of detail packed into accessories and clothing and whatnot. So I say 100 and 150 for the product count, but then each one of those products is going to have 20, 30 different components. So it's a lot of different pieces to keep track of and steer through.
And what's the production lead time from, like, you know, sort of picking a character or a license, pre-production to release?
It generally between a year and a half from the time we start a project to when it actually delivers to our customers. So we usually work on a project here for 6 months to 9 months before it goes overseas.
So with your diverse line of catalog of licenses, I'm sure you hear from lots of the different fans. Is there one group of fans for a particular license that's just crazier than others?
The Buffy fans are near and dear to my heart. I'm a Buffy fan myself, and it's been interesting, the reaction to some figures, picking up on some of the Easter eggs and the, you know, accessories accurate to a certain episode or clothing, you know, and the want lists that have come out of it, you know, because there's such a wealth of characters. The fans there have been extremely vocal about what they'd like to see. You know, with properties like those, where you can look at an example like Star Wars and say, Hasbro's made every character who's had more than 3 seconds of screen time, and they're looking to us to do the same thing, and we would love to, as much as it makes sense. But, you know, we're committed. We'll take these lines as deep as we can because we know what it means to a collector that the collection is complete. You know, you can't have the bridge crew of Star Trek missing a couple of the characters. It just hangs and hurts, and you have to be, I guess, as nutty as the rest of us here to appreciate how that feels, but we try so hard not to do that. If the line has legs and we can keep it going, we definitely will.
With the history of scales that you started with the 8-inch monster line, then you picked up the 12-inch monster line. Now you're doing the quarter scale and the 1-to-1 scale.
Life-size prop replicas, no matter what, always a good thing.
And that's great. But you know, if you take that one step further, what about reproducing Tom's mustache as a replica that people could sell and wear to conventions and Civil War reenactments and that sort of thing? What would something like that?
Scheming so much easier to have your own very own Tom Gilliland mustache.
I wonder what something like that would look like.
Join us next week for part 2 of Julius Mark's interview with Sideshow Toys.
Thanks for watching Geek Week. I'm Jack.
I'm Sarah.
Wow, you really can't see it.
And we leave you with a moment with Thor.
I can't use it. I'm sorry.
My first superhero and anatomy lesson.
I didn't draw it. She's fighting Stiltman.
She is fighting Stiltman.
Is there symbolism there? Why did the producer just take away our comic book?
I don't know.
Looking at that.
You can see it, right? Phil? He saw it. He totally saw it.
There it is.
Something's peeking.
Wow.
Can we even put this up on our site?
It looks like a happy face.